Good evening and welcome to In Focus, where tonight's primetime network exclusive is shedding light on vampires in America. They call it the Great Revelation, the moment vampires across the world went on television and revealed their existence to the rest of us. They've been among us all along, they said. And after centuries of hiding in the shadows, they decided collectively to come out of the coffin, so to speak. But no matter how you put it, one thing's for certain, the world hasn't been the same since. Our John Hansen has the story.
At first, it conjured up memories of Orson Welles and War of the Worlds, an elaborate public hoax perpetrated through the mass media. On one single night, in hundreds of countries and dozens of languages, people watching television around the world were treated to the surprise of a lifetime. Here's what it looked like in America.
Most of all, we want to assure you that we pose no danger to you. All we want is to coexist peacefully with you and to enjoy the same rights and freedoms as everyone else.
Entire regions of the globe reacted with outrage and panic. There were widespread riots in Latin America, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe, and many persecuted vampires had to flee for their safety. And where did these vampires want to go? Why, to the U.S., of course. In fact, so many vampires came here seeking asylum that they revived the debate on that most American of hot-button political issues, immigration. But that was then. It's hard to believe how far we've come since that night, but the evidence is all around us. These days, vampires have their own magazines. They have their own radio stations. They have their own bars, and even their own social networking websites.
By now, we know plenty of things about vampires. Whether we can explain how those things are possible is another matter.
But even today, when it comes to vampires, there are still more questions than answers. To get the ins and outs of Vampires 101, we spoke to Dr. Robert Hill, professor of cultural studies at Johnson University in northern Louisiana.
Just like in the myths and the movies, they drink blood, they are fatally allergic to sunlight, and people aren't born vampires, they become them. The prevailing theory is that vampirism is caused by some sort of virus. But so far, no such virus has been identified. And frankly, there are a lot of things that the virus theory can't explain.
Such as?
Such as the fact that vampires are universally stronger and faster than the rest of us by a lot. Also, vampires don't really seem to age. Some say they've been the same age for centuries.
What is your explanation for all this? I mean, it sounds positively supernatural.